Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel Media Greg, and in this one we are going to be learning this really amazing effect in Adobe Photoshop, and using this you can convert this into this really cool effect. And this, as you can see, this is looking like a really cool defragmentation effect. So this is a really nice effect that you can create in Adobe Photoshop. And in case you do not have the latest version of Adobe Photoshop, or you don't know how to download and install the software, what you can do is to refer to the link in the description, which will lead you to a video where I teach in detail how you can download and install Adobe Creative apps, and make sure you watch that video too. So before starting this tutorial, the point to be noted here is that this effect works perfectly if you have a picture which is a side pose of our subject. So you can see in this our model is having a side pose, so this effect works perfect for the side pose images. So yeah, without wasting any further time, let's get started and let's go. So first of all, what you're going to be doing is just launch your Photoshop, and from your local storage you are going to be selecting an image of your choice. So just drag and drop it into Photoshop, and you can see our image is now opened. So the step one is going to be making the selection of our model and extracting it from the background. Now in case you do not know how to make a selection or extract the model from the background, make sure you watch one of my previous video where I teach in detail how you can just extract your model from the background and make a really nice selection. So it's a pretty simple process. If you missed the video, you can just follow along and you are going to learn in no time. So make sure you have this quick selection tool selected, and after that what you are going to be doing is just select this background. So you can see this is a blurred background, so Photoshop is doing a really nice job to select the background out. So let's just select it, and you can see we are already pretty much done, and Photoshop has done already a really nice job. By the way, you can press Q on your keyboard to fine tune the selections and see the areas that are remain. So you can just fine tune these areas. Press Alt on your keyboard to fine tune these areas. You can see the middle symbol is now changed into minus, which means these areas are going to be excluded from our selection. So let's just check how the selection just came out. So yeah, I think we are pretty much good to go. Don't worry about the hairs, we are going to be doing that in a second. So now after you made your selection, what you are going to be doing is that you need to right click on your select, and there you will be having an option of select inverse. Just select inverse, and you can see our model is now selected. After that, you can fine tune your selection even more by going to select and mask option. Just click this option and you can see we are in an interface where we have a really cool option. On your left side you will be able to see this refine edge brush tool. You can just play along with all these options, but you are not going to be needing them much in this video. So you are going to be selecting this refine edge brush tool and just use it on the hairs, and you can already see the results and how the hairs are just being getting those details, and also the hairs that we missed selecting during the selection process are being now included, and you can see our model looks even more detailed now. So I think we are good to go. We can press OK, and yeah, now our selection is made even more nicely. Now what are you going to be doing is that from your keyboard press Ctrl J and make a copy of your model. So you can see we have already extracted our model from the background. If you hide your background layer, you'll be able to see your model which is extracted. Now you are going to make another copy, and you can just delete this background layer. So you can see we have two models in here and in the layer section, so we are going to be using these. So now let's just not touch our model for a second. What you are going to be doing is just create a new layer using this plus icon. So you can see our layer 2 is created. You need to drag and drop this layer all the way to the bottom, and now you need to apply a gradient to make it look nicer. But before that, we are going to be adjusting the size of our canvas. Press C on your keyboard, which is going to be enabling the crop mode and make sure you press this clear button, and you need to drag and get some area behind our model, so we are good to go. So this is the place where we are going to be applying the effect. So yeah, what are you going to be doing is from the middle layer of your model, you are going to be applying a liquify filter, and in the liquify filter you are going to be using the forward wrap tool. Use this tool to just smudge around your model and just make something like this. So it's nothing crazy, just simple process. You need to just do that and just make sure not to really go crazy with that. And the more minimalistic it is, the more cleaner it looks. So I think we are good to go, or you can just do that a little bit more. So yeah, press OK, and now you can see we have this really weird thing in the background of our model. Now we are going to be creating a mask for, let's just hide our top layer so you can see what we've made in the liquify filter. And now you need to create a mask using this little icon here, and our mask is created. And now you need to control and click on your top layer. So the layer 1 copy, you are going to be pressing control, and now similarly you have to make a mask for your top layer. Just select that layer and press this mask icon, and our mask is created. Now let's just hide our top layer for a second, and what we are going to be doing for the middle layer is that we are just going to select the mask that we created for our middle layer, and we are going to press Ctrl I on our keyboard. And let's just make our first layer visible again, and now we are going to create a gradient. So from your gradient tool, you can see on your left side you have this gradient tool. So select this and make sure you have radial selected from top, and just create a gradient. Now let's just decrease its opacity a little bit so it looks smoother. So you can see these boxes behind. Don't worry, you need to just create a new layer and drag it all the way to the bottom, and make sure on your foreground white color is selected. Press Alt and backspace on your keyboard, and now you can see it is all smoothened out. Now what we are going to be doing is we are going to be working, let's just name them 1 and 2, and let's just name this background, and let's just name this layer gradient. Okay, so at this point you are going to be needing a special brush in Photoshop. If you are a Photoshop user, I recommend this website called brusheezy.com, which is a must if you are really into Photoshop and want to create really awesome looking effects. So you can already see here a lot of effects, and for our particular effect we can use, like for example, these particle effects dispersion, and you can simply click on free download and your brush will be downloaded in no time. So once you downloaded your brush, what you are going to be doing in Photoshop, press B on your keyboard to select your brush tool, or you can select the tool from here, right click, and from there you are going to be clicking on this little gear icon, and from there you are going to be clicking import brush, and just get the brush that you downloaded and click load. And here you can see I have already loaded the brush, so I'm going to be selecting it. So you can see here we have a lot of crazy brushes which are going to give us really cool effects. So let me demonstrate you. So you can see this, it is working like charm. So yeah, we are going to be, so make sure if your mask is white, make sure the foreground color that you select is black. So we are going to just paint our subject with this brush, and you can see, let's just decrease the opacity of the background even more so you can see it even more clearly. Okay, now we need to work with our layer 2. What we are going to be doing here is that you can see the mask is black, so our foreground color should be white. And now select the brush again. We are going to be selecting the explosion brushes, and let's just select any great brush from here. Yeah, this one looks good. And after selecting the brush, we are simply going to be painting our subject with this brush. Make sure your mask is selected and simply paint your subject. You can also change the brush if you want to make the particles look even more great. So yeah. So there we go. You can see our effect is already looking really cool, and I think we are pretty much good to go. And now let's just apply a final touch to our model. What you can do is, and now you are going to be applying a little adjustment layer to make it look even more natural and blended. So head over to your adjustment layer option, click that and apply a gradient map. And from here you can click on this gradient map and select a style, like for example you can select maybe something orange related, and you can select this one, like for example, and go to your opacity and decrease the opacity and make it really low, so you have a little touch of that opacity. Okay, so yeah, that's pretty much it, and I think that looks pretty sick. And with that, that's pretty much it. And I really hope you enjoyed the video. If you did so, make sure to subscribe to the channel, like the video and share with friends. Thank you for watching.